Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our fourth and final installment of the Icons in Business series here in 2020. My name is John Konarski, publisher of In Business magazine. Normally, of course, we'd be meeting you in person for this event series, but we're thrilled to at least have the ability to continue the Icon series this year in this virtual environment and provide some sense of normalcy here with the iconic speakers and companies that you've all come to expect over the 10 plus years now that we've been hosting Icons in Business. This quarterly series was formed to showcase local iconic companies, organizations, and the people that are influencing the business landscape. We've always had our speakers share with us the valuable lessons they've learned over the years, as well as some of the current challenges and opportunities that they're facing right now, leading these companies and brands. Today, we get the privilege of hearing from Sarah Rasmusen, Chief Customer Officer with Land's End, certainly one of the most iconic companies throughout this region and the entire state of Wisconsin. Sarah will share insights into the current opportunities and the challenges that Land's End is facing in this very difficult retail climate, along with some of the ways the company focuses on the priorities in its customers' lives that help lead to business growth. We're thrilled that Sarah accepted our invitation to speak at this virtual Icons event to wrap up 2020, and we'll turn things over to her in just a few minutes here. But before we do, I'd like to thank our sponsors of this year's Icon series that make this all possible here today. Our presenting sponsor is WPS Health Solutions. For nearly 75 years, WPS has been a leader in the insurance industry and a nationally regarded health benefits administrator for Medicare and active duty and retired military personnel and their families. Today, I'd like to welcome in Mark Rothwell, Vice President of Marketing for WPS Health Solutions, to share a brief message on their behalf.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Rothwell, and I am the Vice President of Marketing at WPS Health Solutions. WPS is proud to be sponsoring today's Icons in Business presentation. I can't wait to hear Sarah Rasmusen, the Chief Customer Officer of Land's End. WPS Health Solutions has some things in common with Land's End. We're both companies with big and deep Wisconsin roots. We're both companies that began as one thing. In their case, a yachting supply company. In ours, a health insurance company. But both have grown into something more. WPS was founded in 1946 with the intent of making affordable healthcare coverage available, especially for veterans returning from World War II. Today, we still provide top quality health insurance to seniors, individuals, and businesses, but our primary focus has shifted. WPS has expanded to become a major administrator of health benefits. We have contracts for 2 Medicare jurisdictions covering multiple states. That translates into processing 126 million health claims a year for more than 7 million beneficiaries. We also administer benefits for several military contracts for the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Department of Defense. Those contracts cover more than 10 million beneficiaries, active duty military, veterans, and their families. Last year, we processed more than 100 million claims on those contracts. But despite our revolution, at heart, WPS remains a company our customers can trust. I hope you enjoyed today's webinar and can't wait until we get to do these meetings in person again. If you'd like to hear more about WPS or our COVID-19 response, please feel free to shoot me an email at mark.rothwell@wpsic.com. Thank you for your attention. Stay safe and healthy, and have a fabulous holiday season.
Thank you, Mark, and to the entire WPS Health Solutions team. I'd also like to acknowledge our premier sponsors of this year's Icons event series. Our first premier sponsor is Action Coach. If you're a business owner or leader who needs to change your business model right now to survive and flourish long term, and wants a fast plan to see the path forward with economic opportunities, then Action Coach of Wisconsin can work with you to get clear, get out of overwhelm, and back to business. Our second premier sponsor is Baker Tilly. a leading advisory tax and assurance firm dedicated to building long-lasting relationships and helping you win now and anticipate tomorrow. And finally, our last premier sponsor is the Madison Concourse Hotel. This is Madison's premier hotel located in the heart of downtown, and we do hope to be back doing these Icons events in their facility in the very near future. But a very special thank you to all of our sponsors for their flexibility at this time as we've had to adapt to this virtual format here in 2020. Okay, well, it's time to start our program here today and introduce our Icon speaker, Sarah Rasmusen, again, Chief Customer Officer for Lands' End. Sarah is responsible for leading customer experiences, including core, retail, B2B, and international, as well as to drive strategies to enhance customer-facing capabilities across all Lands' End selling channels. Prior to joining Lands' End, she served as Vice President of Digital Merchandising, Optimization, and Analytics for Kohl's Department Stores for 6 years. With this experience, she is highly skilled at developing e-commerce strategies that drive conversion and enhance the customer experience by leveraging digital analytics and implementing perpetual optimization strategies across multiple platforms. All told, Sarah has over 20 years of leadership roles in technology development, digital merchandising, and consumer web strategy. She also holds a Bachelor of Science degree from Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, New Jersey, and we're really excited to have her here today leading this Icons event. Before we turn things over to Sarah, I do want to mention, if you have questions during the presentation, we'd like to encourage you to add them to the chat box. We'll be moderating them for a live Q&A following her presentation here this morning. So submit them there, and we'll look forward to that at the conclusion of this morning's program. With that said, it is my privilege now to turn things over to our speaker here this morning, Sarah Rasmusen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Rasmusen, and I am the Chief Customer Officer of Lands' End. I'm thrilled to speak with all of you today. This is a little reschedule from when I was supposed to speak to this group back in March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. It was not lucky as everything was canceled, but here we are today with a reschedule, and I'm so excited for this opportunity. Today, I'm going to spend some time talking about Lands' End specifically. 3 items that I think you'll all be interested in. To begin, 1, our customer and the Lands' End business. 2, how the Lands' End brand is expanding our reach globally and in the United States very specifically. And then finally, because it is that time of year, I would be very remiss if I did not touch on holiday 2020. The outset, I wish you all a very safe and happy holiday season, but let's dive in. I trust most of you are here because you have heard of Lands' End before, an iconic American brand, certainly an iconic Wisconsin brand. At Lands' End, we believe that a life well lived is spent creating memories with our family and friends. You've heard of our legendary customer service, and without a doubt, our customers are a part of our family, and legendary customer service has been something that has been a part of our brand from the very beginning and continues today. So, but the numbers are kind of interesting. So something you may not know is that Lands' End is now 96% e-commerce. You've probably grown up thinking of Lands' End as a catalog company, and indeed, we are very much reliant on catalogs for our business. We push out about 160 million catalogs per year around the world, and it remains our best way to reach a customer. Our business outfitters is another important part of our business. We outfit over 300,000 employees in the United States, including 2 major airlines, Delta and American. But we take care of lots and lots of very small business accounts as well. We have 31 Lands' End stores. I'm asked often, we are still very much confused with, are we still in Sears? We are not. I've not been in Sears stores for well over 2 years, but any Sears stores, but we have our very own Lands' End retail stores, 31 of them, and we do business in 8 countries. That's also another big surprise that I get. Our customer in the United States, let's talk about her. And I'm going to talk about her specifically because, as you can see from that graph there on the upper left, she is decidedly female. She's middle-aged. We like to say that she's solidly a boomer. Our new customer is a bit younger, but she's basically Gen X. So we are not a tween, a millennial, a Gen Z type customer. Our business is solidly in boomer land, and we love our boomers. She is very married. She is quite educated compared to many other retailers. High household income, and as you can see from the map of the United States, is we heavily index in the Northeast and the Midwest. Our products, and again, if any of you are a customer, we're not in the fashion business. We are products with purpose, timeless quality, and exceptional value. I am sure many, many of you have Lands' End coats or Lands' End sweaters that you've had since maybe college, sitting in your closet, or a kid's coat that has been hand-me-down for years and years across many kids and grandkids. That's the purpose. We are not in the throwaway fast fashion business. So what does that mean? You have unspeakable value, great products, but then what you also have is customer service that is just truly, truly unshakable. I became the Chief Customer Officer of Lands' End about 2 years ago. And somebody who's been primarily digital, that's my background, I really wondered, could I take on this mantle of leading customer service for Lands' End, which is just really our foundation. And what we found is that so many of our customers now touch the website, touch the phone via a digital channel, a digital touch at some point, that the connection of digital and customer service is more important than it has ever been. Another Gary Comer, our founder, another mantra here. Where and how does this wonderful customer service and care of the customer and care of our employees translate? And again, this is a mantra that is on our walls all over the place in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Take care of the customer, take care of the employee, and the rest will take care of itself. And you'll see that on, if you Google that shows up on many business school quotes. You'll see that in lots of places. But the accolades keep coming. We do truly deliver amazing, award-winning customer service, and I'm so proud of, especially most recently, the Newsweek award you see on the right-hand side there. We were just recently awarded first place of best customer service in online retail in the United States. How big are we? That's another question I get a lot. Is Lands' End big? Is Lands' End small? And as of 2019, this is publicly held information, and you can see where we stand compared to other web businesses. I imagine this ranking will change a lot after this year as so much more business has shifted to online. But for scale, we thought it was interesting to show you where Lands' End sits in rank of relative rank to many of the brands that you know and love as well. So $1.2 billion, that's a milestone for any digital business, being in the $1 billion club, and we are definitely a player. As I touched on before, e-commerce is the majority of our business, and it's important that I'm talking to you about this today, because what this means is that we are one of the very largest tech employers in Wisconsin. We have over 600 employees that support our digital and IT businesses. We believe that centers us squarely as a tech leader in the Madison, Wisconsin area. Anybody surprised to see that? I'm sure you are. But really what's driven that is our customer behaviors. Many of you met Lands' End this way, right? you or through your mother or your grandmother, right? You get the catalog in home and you pick up the phone and you call and you place the order. That is very much the traditional catalog retail direct to consumer model. Then the website came along, and a desktop website seemed like also a great way to shop online. But even that has shifted more dramatically in the last 5 years than what you see here. Because what has happened is, we have now all of these expanded touch points. The customer can still obviously pick up the phone and talk to our great customer care team, place an order on her desktop. But now, what we find is our customers increasingly finding us through search engines. We don't meet customers anymore by sending them a catalog. I can't send you really a catalog if I don't know who you are. But we find that we meet customers by somebody searching for winter coats or cashmere sweaters. They Google us, or even through Amazon, they find us and start their search, and they meet the brand that way. We also have our 31 retail stores. And again, the catalog remains a really effective way to get into the customer's home. But the new center of our business is now truly the mobile phone. 50% of our visits are 50% of our customers now meet us on a smartphone. And when you think about it, how different that form factor is from a catalog, a big, beautiful catalog that you can open, or a large desktop computer, really what you need to do is you need to make sure that your mobile phone experience can mirror for the customer, or at least try to reflect what is that, beautiful, rich experience that comes in on a catalog or a desktop or in a retail store. It all needs to be smashed down into a phone. It's a tricky model, but it's where a customer is going. Remember, our boomer is one of the very, very fastest adopters of online shopping, especially during this pandemic, and where she's doing it is on her phone. So the smartphone is absolutely crucial to the future of Land's End. And again, I said, she's using us on her phone, and that means that she expects to find us in more places. Something you've heard about in the news, I'm sure, lately, again, is a recent partnering with another iconic Wisconsin brand, Kohl's. We, in September, launched at 150 Kohl's stores, recently publicly announced that we will be at 300 Kohl's stores in the very near future. But we also sell on Amazon. We have a small wholesale business. We've partnered with brands like Reese Witherspoon's brand, Draper James. And something else we're doing is we're expanding our own product catalog on the Land's End website. We know from our customers that she likes shopping our site, and that she would be very fine finding other products on our website, such as sneakers or more home goods, so on and so forth. So we were working on expanding our product catalog. So there will be more and more reasons to shop at landsend.com going forward. And so now here we are at generally the close. Like I said, I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about holiday with you. As anybody who's worked in retail can imagine, this is truly a holiday unlike any other. I've been in retail since I was 16 years old, working back to school and Black Friday at Mervyn's department store in Fresno, California. And gosh, I've just never experienced anything as crazy as we have this year. Everything's up and down, topsy-turvy, but it is, I know I'll look back, and I do, without cliche, know I will look back and say it is truly the most wonderful time of year, and the memories that we got out of this year will be wonderful, just like always. So some quick headlines. I thought you might like to know about some things that are going on at Land's End this holiday season. So first and foremost, we have been able to lean into our Let's Get Comfy tagline. We actually determined this tagline or this motto back in January. So pre-COVID, pre-anything, going topsy-turvy with the world, we said we're going to stand for the comfy business. And as I tell many of my team members, you know what? It could not be a better time to be in the elastic waist pant business. We're all wearing leggings on the bottom and dress shirts on the top when we do conference calls, and or cozy cashmere sweaters. That is what Land's End is about. It is what we have been, was what we have stood for forever and ever. And it could not be a better time to be Let's Get Comfy. Land's End does a lot of monogramming. I don't know if you have, many of you I'm sure have Land's End canvas totes, things like that. Little tip I think is interesting is that the #1 monogram that Land's End will do this time of year, whether it's a stocking, a tote, a sweater, anything like that, is mom. So mom is always near and dear in our hearts. Going back to Let's Get Comfy, the #1 gift this year, pajamas, 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 matching family pajamas, lounging pajamas, any kind of pajamas, but that's what the customer is going for. And I like to say that Land's End is the OG, if you will, of matching family Christmas pajamas. We've been doing it since the early 80s, probably before that. And as that idea has taken off as family pictures and Pinterest boards and so on and so forth, this was an easy win for Land's End. And then on my final note, when this airs, it'll be December 10th. And wherever you choose to shop this year, as you've probably seen on the news, there are more and more carrier challenges and carrier restrictions this year than ever before. So wherever you shop this year, wherever you decide to shop online, I cannot encourage you enough to shop early. The deadline at Land's End is December 15th, so just 5 days away from by the time this airs. But again, wherever you choose to shop, if delivering those wonderful, comfy jammies to your mom is the gift you have in mind this year, shop by December 15th. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of angst and a lot of agita. So with that, thank you so much. I wish you all happy holidays, and I am looking forward to hearing your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing all of that with us here today. An enlightening presentation this morning with so much going on right now in the retail industry. And it was great to hear how Land's End is navigating all of this, as well as the customer experience. We're now going to go live with Sarah here today. And as I promised earlier, she will be taking some of the questions that many of you have submitted during the program. So let me welcome back Sarah Rasmusen for the live Q&A.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, welcome back, Sarah. And we've got a few questions in already. And our first question is, in your presentation, you mentioned Land's End launching a marketplace. Can you share a bit more about what this will be and why you're doing this now?
Sure. Land's End gets really great traffic from super qualified customers, people that we know. And again, these are people that we send catalogs to. So we know them pretty well. And one of the things we learned is that our customer doesn't mind finding non-Land's End products from us. In fact, she is interested because she associates the Land's End brand as a trustworthy brand, and if it's for sale on our site, it's a trustworthy product as well. So last holiday, we tested a little bit, trying out some non-Land's End brands on the site from a holiday decor perspective. It worked out well. And so this year we committed to adding about a dozen new sellers to our site this year, and have hit that target and have been very, very pleased with the customer's reaction. So we know and can see from the data and from the selling that she is very happy to buy non-Land's End products on our site. Looking forward to building out that business.
Thanks, Sarah. Our next question is, with holiday season in full swing, with the expectation that e-commerce infrastructures and teams will be taxed more than they already are, do you anticipate any additional or updated processes beyond what has already been added, and what will this look like?
That's the beauty about Land's End being pretty much already a digital pure play, a digital company. We aren't really changing anything. I'd say for years and years, we have had daily stand-ups. For years and years, we have had cross-functional groups get together and talk about how we can drive the business. So where I'd say bricks and mortar retailers, or primarily bricks and mortar retailers, have had to adapt to a world where a much larger percent of their business is transacted online, and how to handle store pickup, so on and so, et cetera. We are operating much the same way we always have. We learned a lot of lessons in March and April when it was, joke to say, it's not correct to say this anymore, but I'll say peak pandemic, maybe peak panic is the right word, who knows, time will tell. But we learned so many lessons about how the customer is going to behave this year at that point in time, that we were able to carry that through to holiday this year, and then also leverage years and years of holiday past.
Our next question is, from a business operations standpoint, can you think of anything good and perhaps long-lasting that has come out of the pandemic for Lands' End?
Such a sweet question. I think how we learned to even better work together as a strong, lean, and mean team. As I said in the previous question, through holiday, we have always operated as a tight, cross-functional group, making quick decisions. This year, as a part of the total year, we've had to operate that way. So while I would say maybe during the year, we're more, in the past, we've been more, oh, should we do this? Let's aim to be absolutely perfect before we step out with anything. I would say that, we've been in a is it good enough? Great, let's push it out. We can do this. I tend to say a lot, very often, better is better. Just if it's better, let's iterate into perfection. Let's get there. Progress, not perfection. Our CEO, Jerome Griffith, tends to always, there's a Marine Corps tenet, improvise, adapt, overcome. But those simple messages, coupled with lots and lots and lots of communication, have really brought us closer together this year, if at all possible, in an almost completely remote work environment.
Could you expand on the new product categories and how you determine what fits your core strategy and market positioning?
Sure. That's the beauty of Let's Get Comfy. So as Let's Get Comfy came into it became our slogan, our mantra almost at the beginning of last year, as we came out of holiday last year, what we were able to say is, okay, as we expand into new categories, in our marketplace, or even if we develop our own, does it fit under that umbrella? So I will say, in our marketplace, are we going to be in the juniors prom dress business? Probably not. Doesn't really fit the Let's Get Comfy mantra. Also doesn't fit our customer profile. So, where you will see the expansion is if it hits one of those, or actually probably both of those two marks. Is it Let's Get Comfy, and does it hit our core customer?
How has customer service delivery changed in light of the phone being key to sales?
I'm sorry, in light of the phone?
In light of the phone being key to sales.
Okay, sure. So what has happened is the customer service model is rapidly changing, right? So it used to be our primary sales channel. Then the internet comes along, and I would say about 10 years ago, the business flipped to being mostly internet, and now we see it's mostly internet. Now what you have is a customer service model that is, one, still very much relies on our wonderful customer service frontline. You call a Lands' End phone number and you will get a live person in Wisconsin answering that phone. So that is, from a service perspective and a sales perspective, they have rolled with how Lands' End has changed so much. But on the customer side, the customer has a growing expectation of self-service. As we know, many of us expect to pick up our phone and, want to touch a button and find out where is our order. We want to always have that one click away in front of our phone. What we've seen is our call volume is now 50% happening on a smartphone, which is challenging because the rep is trying to help the customer with a digital experience, but the customer's on her phone, can't switch easily. That's one challenge. But the other is that the customer is really expecting fast, accurate service to happen on her phone. And that's where we're, again, as we pushed our transactional model form factor down into the phone, our next evolution is continuing to push our self-service model, our wonderful customer service model, into the phone.
With so much of Lands' End's business coming from e-commerce, what have you learned about how to get customers into the brick and mortar stores?
I have experience with this at Kohl's, as I was a part of developing the buy online pickup in store program there, and also now that I'm at Lands' End and we have 31 stores. And what we have done at Lands' End is kind of adopted that same sort of slow burn in. So on our product pages right now, if you live in a store trade area, the customer can see what inventory is available in her local store. At that point, she can call the store and have either place that order over the phone directly with the store. She can do curbside pickup, or we can hold the inventory for her, or she can come in on her own to visit our stores. We are evolving our omni experience, evaluating if we have critical mass on that, do we adopt features like BOPUS more aggressively next year?
As a company that is 96% e-commerce, how does Lands' End continually look to innovate to provide the best online experience for the customer?
It's a race. It's a battle. I do so, and my team does so, our digital and IT teams and our marketing teams. We have wonderful partners with Google, with Amazon, with lots of other large retailers that are we watch closely, because as those are the fast adopters, we want to be where they are first. But as I mentioned Google before, partners such as Google have been wonderful about working with us and asking us to participate in their beta programs, providing engineering assistance to, especially with our mobile efforts, to help us get bigger, better, faster. So it's been a blast to work with other partners, but also kind of have one foot entrenched in the future.
With a solid boomer customer base, how do you balance your core customer with attracting new, younger customers?
So to be very clear, we welcome all customers. We love any type of customer that wants to come shop our website or our catalogs. I would say that it's our product assortment, our classic apparel, never really out of style, that has the broad appeal to, I'd say, the Gen X and Boomer generations. So the balance is this is actually a quite, I'll say, relatively wealthy customer, right? So this is somebody who has an established income, is sometimes an empty nester. They have a larger share of wallet to spend on clothing. There's a lot of really great things about this sweet spot of customer. Anybody can do this research, but I believe baby boomers have the largest percentage of wealth in the United States right now. And Gen X not far behind. So it's a sweet spot. It's a really great space to be. And is it tricky sometimes as we see a fashion fad and think, oh, should we be in the, I'm going to invent this, Baby Yoda business? I don't know. Is that something that we need to be in? And really, again, against that balance of, is it our core customer? Is it right for her? Where can we push her a little bit forward, but not too far forward? And then again, does it hit the mantra of let's get comfy?
Great. Our next question. What do you see as the biggest opportunity right now for Lands' End, as well as the biggest challenge in this current retail environment?
Our biggest opportunity is that we the whole map of the United States, honestly. I look at the southern region of the United States. I look at the West Coast. I look at, where, we could really be, right? Our customer is there. We have 58-year-old women with high household incomes across the United States. So, we have wonderful swimsuits and outerwear, sweaters, etc., that appeal to everyone. We do fit everyone, right? We have regular size, petite size, plus size, tall. We have petite tall. You have petite plus. We have big and tall. So with this broad appeal of sizing and really classic products, I think it's just a matter of finding ways to meet the customer. Amazon and Kohl's are so far great places to do that. And then our number one internal goal is, how can we show up in Google every time somebody's looking for a cashmere sweater? I think that has answered the question.
Our next question starts, hi Sarah, how are you and Lands' End communicating potential holiday delays to your customers?
So you cannot go on a single page of our website without seeing the shipping deadline. We have made it very, very crystal clear to our customers that it is December 15th. The deadline for monogrammed gifts, I believe, is tomorrow. But again, you cannot miss a spot where we have communicated this to our customer. As for shipping delays, that's how we're combating it. So in a normal year, our shipping deadline could have been, I'm going to say, on the 20th. Especially because since Christmas is on a Saturday. But, we pared it back. We've been working very, very closely with USPS and UPS. They have been very forthright and honest customers with us, helping us manage our expectations and making sure that we can manage to their service levels for our customer.
How did Lands' End become the go-to supplier for business logo wear?
Products with purpose. So, you look at the durability of our products, you look at the, again, wear forever, classic style. You look at our polo, we have a polo that is our number one business outfitters product for years and years and years. And the customer can get it in any color she wants, in any fit he or she wants, with their logo on their chest or the logo on the arm or anywhere. So we have, embraced this market for companies for years and years, and as such have been able to earn the reliability of Delta, American, Chase, etc.
Question is, in the event that things don't go as planned, this is retail during a pandemic after all, in areas like inventory availability, shipping snafus, etc., what have you done to prepare to reset customer expectations?
Classic Lands' End style, constant communication, over communication. As I said before, you cannot miss a spot where we have not communicated the shipping deadline to the customer. Where previously we have sent one single order confirmation and then another when the order has shipped. If we're in a 7-day window of the customer from the time she orders to the time she receives, we are sending multiple communications. Our customer care team is, I can't say enough about this group, constantly monitoring orders and making sure that if there is a problem that the customer gets a direct phone call. I myself was one of the beneficiaries of a direct phone call about a gift wrap question. That's how we treat our customers. So again, constant communication has really been the model for us forever.
How did the Kohl's Lands' End partnership develop?
I think it was just a matter of time before two great Wisconsin brands, great Wisconsin retailers, were going to meet and find a way to work with each other. The Kohl's footprint across the United States is vast and very strong, and Lands' End is a classic, iconic American brand. As I've had the pleasure of working with both companies, I can tell you that the fit and the crossover of the customer is very strong. And just as we are thrilled to be in those stores and on that website, they, by nature of saying, let's expand to 300, are very happy to have us with them as well.
How does Lands' End differentiate itself from other brands?
Well, amazing customer service to begin with. I mean, award-winning customer service, right? So customer care is one thing, product quality, and just these things that are always there, right? So I know it's the place where I can always get a wonderful cashmere sweater, or year after year I can go back to get my family Christmas pajamas, a needlepoint stocking, which is a favorite holiday item where customers can have a name monogrammed for free. And you have these wonderful letters from customers where, a new grandbaby was born, and, daughter got engaged and was so happy to be able to, was thrilled to be able to add the fiance's stocking to the hearth that year. Those are just these wonderful stories of just tried and true product quality, amazing value, and wonderful customer service.
Our next one is it a challenge having the headquarters in a small rural town like Dodgeville?
I love it. It is, I was out I had the pleasure of being at our distribution center yesterday, wrapping Christmas gifts, working alongside the holiday teams in our distribution center. We couldn't be an iconic Wisconsin brand without being based in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. The voices you hear on the phone, the friendly sort of Wisconsin hug you get over the phone, the population of Iowa County that relies on Lands' End, but Lands' End would be nothing without the citizens of Iowa County and expanded areas. But it is so much our personality and so much of who we are.
What's happening in corporate apparel? Shirts, sweaters, which are the most popular? And do most companies order the same items, or do they order a variety of items?
That will vary by company. The polo, just the short sleeve polo, is our chestnut for years and years in terms of a customer favorite. We also have a lot of fleece, half zip, fleece, quarter zip sweaters, things that can be easily monogrammed and are easy to layer on. No question this year has it been primarily a focus towards the top. Yep, true. But what we've also seen this holiday season is with our corporate team is that gifting has expanded in a really interesting way. So as corporate gifts, as companies are, so many of us remote work, and what we've seen is as corporate gifts, companies will use Lands' End to send a reach out thank you note to their employees, a blanket, or again an easy to wear fleece pullover or something like that, just as a hey, we miss you, can't wait to see you again, but stay safe and warm.
Right. How are you handling work from home in your headquarters?
Every day is a dream. I am up here in my bedroom with the dog on the bed, and like so many of us, we have Wi-Fi signal fights in our house every day, friendly fights. But as I'm sitting here today, I'm battling against Fortnite. We roll, and I have to say that my husband and my son have been wonderful co-workers during this time. Thankful for having a dog that I can walk every day to escape. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank my coworkers and the Lands' End team. We are well positioned to be able to work from home, and my coworkers have been very patient as I've had to do some virtual school. My son is in 6th grade at Cherokee, and we've all just rolled. So is it ideal? No. Do I miss people so much? Yes, so much, but we're doing the right thing.
We're months into a pandemic. If you could go back and give yourself advice, is there anything you would have done differently from a business perspective?
From a business perspective, no. we were very aggressive early on to say, we've got to figure out a way to work. We've got to figure out a way to keep this company alive. We went super lean. Our furlough was public. And we said we're going to operate lean and mean until we can afford to bring everybody back. Were there tough days? Many of them, for sure. Again, having a dog to take on long walks helped a lot personally. But we operated lean and mean. We kept fighting all the way, and I think we learned a lot and came out better as a result.
On your website, you list the tagline, "Let's get comfy." Is this a new message, and how has this impacted the product created?
Yes, "Let's get comfy" is the slogan that we adopted in March. It is new in that spot. We wanted to make sure that much like Nike and Just Do It became closely connected, we wanted to make sure that Land's End and Let's Get Comfy were closely connected. Has it guided our product? Not really, because we were already there. As I said in my holiday portion, it's a great time to be in the elastic waist pant business. Couldn't agree more. And it was I'd say the slogan "Let's Get Comfy" was probably guided more by our product versus it guiding our product going forward. Now it's just a really great overarching question we can ask ourselves. Is this fit under "Let's Get Comfy"? Do stiletto heels make sense under "Let's Get Comfy"? No, we're not going to be in that business.
And our next question, what makes Land's End so special?
Everything I've said so far. It's the community, it's the history, it's the product, it's the employees. It is a little engine that could. When you think about direct-to-consumer retailers that were part of I'll say the 80s, 90s heyday of mail order, and those that are still around. There aren't many of us that are still here, and it's those of us, the companies that are still here, the really great direct-to-consumer retailers that are still here, that are historically cataloged, but now mostly e-commerce. We did it by adapting. And it's that, again, going back to the Jerome mantra, improvise, adapt, overcome. That's what we did, and what results out of that is thriving.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for all of your questions, and Sarah for answering all of those questions. This one might be a good one to end on today. Any final advice you can share with our community about having the smoothest holiday possible?
Shop now, ship deadline, ship deadline, ship deadline. I said that in my holiday speech, and I just can't say that enough. If you intend to shop online, get it in over the next couple days. That's, and that will smooth out your most personal shopping and holiday experience possible to ensure that those gifts really do arrive on time. From there, as the year closes, I think there's a lot of hope, and I would just encourage us all to just keep having hope. Vaccines on the way. We have our families, we have our safety and our health and our homes. So other than working hard to have the best holiday you can with those near and dear to you, I think at this point all I can say is focus on that.
Sarah, and this ends our call today, and thanks again to our guest speaker today, Sarah Rasmusen. Holidays, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed this Icons presentation this morning. So much great information from Sarah regarding Land's End and the current retail landscape. I want to thank Sarah for agreeing to speak with us here this morning. We certainly appreciate your time and effort to make this work with your very busy schedule. I also want to extend our sincerest appreciation to the sponsors of this year's Icons series. our presenting sponsor, WPS Health Solutions, as well as our premier sponsors, Action Coach, Baker Tilly, and the Madison Concourse Hotel. Thank you for your flexibility and working with us as we were forced to adapt a bit this year with this program. And a huge thank you to all of you for tuning in here today, as well as throughout the entire year with these virtual Icons in Business events. This does wrap up our 2020 series, but please be on the lookout for more information coming soon on our first Icons event in 2021. Most likely we'll be starting these next year in the same virtual environment, but like many, we are very hopeful that at some point next year we can get back to hosting these in person again. Until then, I want to wish everyone a safe, healthy, and happy holiday season, and we look forward to connecting with all of you again soon in 2021. Thank you.